So this is number 60. So Julian wants to save $10 per day for 8 days. Did we go for number 58, you guys? I think we did. Yeah, we did. And then he plans to spend $10 per day for another 8 days. I know I don't have your highlighter for you guys today, but that's okay. So just 2 questions. So just underline your important information. On the final, you will have a bag of highlighters. I'll give you guys highlighters, okay? But you got to keep in mind that on the final, there are specific things that you can or cannot have. So let me just go over that with you guys first, okay? So, design, let's see, insert. Okay, let's do it that way. Here we go. Let me rechange this. Okay, so on the day of the final, and there are procedures that we will be doing in place. So, protocol. There we go. Number 1, your backpack alongside of the bookcase. So when you walk in, your backpack will be lined against behind me, okay? Your cell phone will be turned in with your sticky note and your name, okay? So you will not have access to any of that. No access to personal items. There will be no bathroom during that 1 hour and 45 minutes. So I would suggest you go to the bathroom and go potty beforehand. Okay, so keep that in mind. Right now, what can you use on the final? You will get a book that you can go ahead and write on. Okay, I will also give you an answer sheet. And your answer sheet has to be very clean, or else, you know, the computer is not going to pick up on your answer if you like chewed on it or you drooled on it or you licked the answer pages. So you have to keep that clean. Oh, here, hold on. Also, I will go ahead and give you guys a bag of highlighters so you can go ahead and use that to highlight your answers. And you will have a pencil and a calculator. But that is it. Those are the only things that you guys can use on the final. You will not have any notes, no notes, or no notes, and you also cannot have any scratch paper. Let's see. Is there anything else you need to have with that? No, and that's basically it. Okay. You guys don't have a ton of stuff left. What do you have that's left? That is ungraded. Well, you have your final, which is 15% of your grade. And then you have your study guide, which you're going to be turning in today. I'm going to have you guys grade the study guide, but you're going to keep it so you can study for it for the final. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, so that is kind of all that we have left. Now, if you're like, what does a schedule look like for you guys for the final? It's been posted on your MS team for a long time. So if you just go to Algebra 1, it's going to be posted. You got to scroll up just a little bit right there. Okay, that's your final schedule for all of your classes. I will see you guys tomorrow, 7:45 to 9:30. Now, keep in mind, I know some of you guys are late. If you're late, that's all the time you have. You have until 9:30. You don't get any extra time because I have a second period final and you cannot have extra time after 9:30. Okay, and you're actually not even allowed. The only reason you can have an extra 15 minutes is if you actually have an IEP that specifically states you have extra time. This is a timed test. Your friends in Worcester, McQueen, Galena, Sparks High School, Spanish Springs, you guys are all taking the same test. Okay, so it's a state final and it's a secured test. So just keep that in mind. Also, when you guys show up, everything will be in rows and columns tomorrow. So do not be late. Okay. In case of a snow day, because it is expected that it's supposed to be snowing, this is a schedule for the school. So I didn't make the schedule. This is just what the schedule is going to be like for the school tomorrow. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Sorry. Oh, I wasn't sure if I told you guys this, but like I won the door competition outside. And so yeah, so they're gonna bring us pizza for my kiddos. Let me see here. Where is that? Okay, so in case there is a delayed start, this will be our schedule. Wait, that doesn't look like correct. Hold on. Okay, here, let me scroll down a little bit. Okay, here we go. And I'll post this on MS Team as well for you guys. So let me go back here and new conversation. And I'll just put in case of a 2-hour delay start or final, this is your schedule. So for tomorrow, if there is a delayed start, classes will start at 9:45, so that you'll be here at 9:45. You'll still have an hour and well, actually that went up. I don't know why they decided to change that. 1 hour and 15 minutes. Was it an hour and 15 minutes before that? I thought it was an hour and 5. Hold on. Yeah, it was an hour and 5 minutes. So why did it change to an hour and 15? Let me go ahead and reply to that. Sorry, let me just give me a second. Hey, Christina. That's our principal. In case of a 2-hour delay start, get an additional 10. Just checking. But apparently you get an extra 10 minutes. I don't understand why they did that. But anyways, first period, this will be your lunch right here, 11:40 to 12:15. And then your second period class starts at 12:25 until 2:20. So you do get pushed back a little bit, but that is your schedule, okay? And yeah, so in case of a 2-hour delayed start. Okay, so now that you guys have that, and I'm going to go ahead and post that to my other classes as well. So just give me a second. And I have one more to post. So calculus. Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. Let me just go ahead and. One of my students fell out of his chair when he heard it. He just toppled backwards. That's funny. Okay, so let's go back to this. Sorry, that totally like took a detour. All right. So number 60. So now that you guys saw the 2 different schedules in case of a delayed start and everything else, you guys know exactly what to do. If you have your cell phone, please put your cell phone away. Your study guide is going to be due today. So make sure you have that out. Does anybody need an extra copy of the study guide? Anybody else need a study guide? Everybody else good? Okay, so Julie wants to save $10 per day. So once again, if you have your cell phone out, put your cell phone away, please. For 8 days. So by the end of 8 days, he'll probably have like 80 bucks is kind of what I'm thinking. Then he plans to spend $10 per day for another 8 days. The graph below models the amount of money he has each day. On which day will he have 60 bucks? Okay, so do you see where it says amount of money? So that's $100. That's $50. That's $0. So you want to look for 60, okay? So 60, here's 50, there is $60. Do you guys see 60 right there? Right there, that little green dot right there, that's 60, right? So draw the line. Oh, there's the graph. What day is that? And it hits 60 again because he starts spending it. What day is that? So there are 2 days when he has $60. $60 right here, which I think is like day 6. And he also has $60 right there, which I think is day 10. So which one says 6 and 10? I think B as in boy is the only one. So that wasn't even that difficult. But because it's a word problem, a lot of students kind of like shuts down. They're like, oh my gosh, this looks so hard. And was that difficult? No, you just look at the graph. You find 60. Then you look at the bottom because the bottom is the number of days or the time of days. And so then you just find which day does he have $60. And there's 2 of them, okay? So that's number 60. Okay, we're gonna go back to number 59 because apparently I skipped 59, so sorry about that. So I'm gonna just go back by 1. Yeah. What absolute value function is represented by the graph below? Okay. So first thing you want to do is you want to do f of x is equal to plus or minus a, absolute value, x minus h plus k. You want to write that formula down. All right, so now what you want to write is, if you have a positive k, you go up. If you have a negative k, you go down. So make sure you write that down, okay? Now, next thing you want to look at is the h's. If it's a negative h, I know you want to go to the left, but it's actually opposite because it's an absolute value. It's go to the right. Positive h is when you go to the left. Now you have to take a look at the plus and minus. Okay, so if it is going to be a positive, it's going to be shaping up like this. If it's a negative, it's going to be upside down like that. Okay, so make sure you copy that part down because that's important as part of your study guide. Okay, next thing we need to do is the A's, okay? The A's is, this is what you do. If A is bigger than 1, it's going to be a skinnier graph. If A is smaller than 1, it's going to be a wider graph. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so your graph is upside down, right? So automatically, you know it's going to be a negative A, all right? And then take a look at the pointy part right here. What location is that pointy part? Your pointy part is always h comma k. It looks like the pointy part is at 8, and then it's going to be at 6. So then it's going to be x minus 8 plus 6. So which one has a minus 8 plus 6 and a negative in front? So far, I only see that there is this one for A that qualifies, or this one. But the problem is that This one's a positive 1/2, and you need a negative. So the only one that probably will work is B. And do you see how there's a 2 in front of B? That just means this graph is a little bit skinnier. And how do you know if it's skinny or wider? You look at the angle, you guys, okay? Does that look like a perfect right angle? Because if it's a perfect right angle, it will be like the normal one. It's not perfectly right. What does it look like? It looks smaller than that, right? Like it's an acute angle. So what does that mean? That means it is skinnier. So that would be a 2 because 2 is bigger than 0. So B as in boy will be the correct answer. All right, last question, you guys, and this will be the end. After this, I'm gonna have you guys basically give me the grade that you got on the on this, and I'm gonna give you guys a QR code, so make sure you have your cell phone ready. So number 61. So we're still gonna go back to Julian. This is your last question. Julian plans to spend $10 for, or save $10 for 8 days. Then he plans to spend $10 for another 8 days. The graph below models that which of the following can be used to represent the situation. Okay, so first things first. Do you see how this is like a V-shaped? If it's a V-shaped, it's absolute value. So you have to have that in the equation. So immediately A and B doesn't have that because they have parentheses. So that's not your answer. Just cross it out. And then do you see how it's like upside down? So it has to be a negative. Well, guess what? Both of them have a negative right there. So it doesn't eliminate anything. But another thing that you can notice is that what is my little pointy thing right here? That little pointy thing is saying that it's HK. It looks like it starts at, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it goes all the way up to 80, right? So then I have a negative x minus 8 plus 80. And which one has that? And it looks like the only one that does have that is D as in dog. So then you know that C is not your answer and D as in dog is your answer. And that is it. Those are the 61 questions that you guys have gone over for your study guide. And if you understand those 61 questions pretty well, you're probably gonna do pretty good because your final is gonna be very similar to these questions. These are the questions they actually took out of the final and they're not using on the final. So your other questions will be very similar to this. All right, so take a moment, make sure you guys have that done. And grab a cell phone if you don't have a cell phone already or an iPad because you're gonna need it. Okay, so the first thing the question is going to ask you is your name and period. So that's going to be the first question. Next question is out of 61 questions, count how many did you show work and hand wrote your steps. Just having an answer is not sufficient. You have the answer on the back, so anybody can just circle, you know what I mean? So you need to make sure you have that. How do you feel about the final? Are you ready and prepared for it? What else can Dr. Callahan do next semester to better prepare you for the final? Make sure you answer that question. And then lastly, what is your current grade in class after the grade check? And what grade are you aiming for in this class? Do you know, or what can you do to reach that goal? All right, and that's really all the question that I will need from you guys. And so let me send this. Send, okay, let's get that. Copy, and let's go ahead and put it on a QR code, which I can find. Save as. Desktop. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and upload this. Let's see, where is my Google Doc? Okay, don't do that. Yeah, when I do all of this, like it takes a lot of time to like create all of this stuff. And so thank you for being patient. I'm like trying to go as fast as I can, I promise. Okay, like it just takes time to do this. Okay, open. Let's see. Okay, so that's a little bit too big. Still looks a little bit too big. Let me see if I can move it down a little. Nope, that's as small as it gets apparently. Can everybody use that? Or let's see, let's maybe move it here. Hold on, let me get out of this one here. Okay, can everybody scan that? Is that okay? So that's the one that you will need to scan in order to answer those questions for your, yeah. All right, cool. All right. Okay. Is Daniel here? I have for all right, so once you guys get there, make sure you respond. So far, I already have 4 people: Shawnee, Danielle, Miguel, and Alexandra. All right, so today, if you are done with this, you need to grab this piece of paper right over here, and it basically asks you to go ahead and do the following. Make sure you guys catch up on everything that you have been missing, and this is essentially your to-do list. So make sure you grab this and get started, and that's all I have for you guys. You have about like 20 minutes to finish this, and then also to get caught up with any work that you have. And then next time I see you guys, it'll be the day of the final, and you guys will take the final tomorrow with me. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And while you guys are doing that, I'll play some Christmas lo-fi music for you guys. Oh my gosh, hold on a second.